Hey everyone, welcome back to Next Gear. Today we're diving into a full, in-depth review of the 2026 Ford Puma, a compact crossover that's turning heads with its blend of style, performance, and new electrified ambitions. Let's start with a quick introduction to what makes the 2026 Puma so interesting. When you look at the 2026 Puma, you're seeing a car that's evolved. It's not just the sporty little crossover people knew before. Ford has refreshed the design, added more high-tech features inside, and pushed forward with both mild hybrid and fully electric versions. Whether you're after efficiency, dynamic driving, or cutting-edge EV capability, there's a Puma for you. From the outside, the front of the Puma carries a bold, confident presence. The grille is sleeker, more refined, and depending on the trim you get modern LED headlamps that give the car a sharper face. The bumper design is more sculpted than before, with sporty air intake styling cues that echo performance-focused intentions. There's a sense of controlled aggression, not over the top, but definitely athletic. The hood lines flow cleanly into the A-pillars, giving it a poised but ready-to-pounce look. From the side, the Puma's profile is compact but muscular. You get well-proportioned wheel arches, and depending on your trim level you can opt for larger alloy wheels, which give it a planted feel. The roofline gently slopes toward the rear, adding a sporty touch without sacrificing too much headroom in the back. The design feels modern and practical, with enough character lines to make it visually appealing but without being fussy. Looking at the rear, the taillights are slim and wrap neatly around the corners. The tailgate is slightly wider, giving good access to the boot, and there's a subtle roof spoiler that adds a sporty flair. The rear bumper is sculpted to match the front, and on performance or street-inspired trims you get more aggressive styling, possibly with a diffuser-like lower section, which helps reinforce the Puma's sporty image. Inside interior, the Puma's interior gets a serious refresh. The most noticeable change is the dual-screen setup. On many models there's a large 12.8-inch digital instrument cluster, which is fully customizable so the driver can choose what info to prioritize. Next to it, or slightly lower in the center, sits a big infotainment touchscreen up to 12 inches on some trims running Ford's Sync 4 software. That means better performance, over-the-air updates, and smart features. The climate controls and some of the seat heating buttons are integrated into the touchscreen to reduce the number of physical buttons, giving the dashboard a cleaner, more modern feel. Ambient lighting is available, and higher trims can get synthetic leather upholstery on seats, steering wheel, and other touchpoints, often with color stitching that adds a refined, sporty touch. Despite the tech, there are some trade-offs. Some critics point out that while the infotainment is slick, the materials in certain parts of the cabin feel a bit cheap, especially some plastics. Rear seat headroom and visibility could be better, too. It's a compact crossover, so it's never going to be massively spacious back there. One very clever feature remains the mega box in the boot. It's a drainable compartment, making it very practical for storing dirty or wet items, which is something families or outdoor enthusiasts will really appreciate. Turning to performance, the 2026 Puma offers a few powertrain options. The petrol, mild hybrid versions are based around Ford's 1.0-liter 3-cylinder EcoBoost engine. There is a 125 PS variant and a more powerful 155 PS version, both paired with a 48 volts mild hybrid system. The lower power 125 PS version can come with either a 6-speed manual gearbox or a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic, while the 155 PS unit is typically only available with the automatic transmission. In terms of acceleration, the 125 PS manual does 0-62 miles per hour in about 9.8 seconds, while the automatic version takes roughly 9.6 seconds. The 155 PS automatic is quicker, hitting 62 miles per hour in about 8.7 seconds. As for the top performance trim, add the street version that uses an even stronger EcoBoost mild hybrid that makes about 170 PS, and Ford claims is 0-100 kilometers per hour, or equivalent, time of 7.4 seconds. Fuel economy is one of the Puma's strong suits. In real-world testing, the 155 PS mild hybrid returned roughly 51.4 miles per gallon, which is excellent for a crossover of this type. Running costs are quite favorable, especially considering how efficient the hybrid system is. Now, for 2026 there's also the Puma Gen E, the fully electric version, which brings a new dimension. Ford has bumped its WLTP range from about 376 kilometers to 417 kilometers for model year 2026. Thanks to an optimized battery design, it retains the same 53 kWh gross battery capacity, but the usable energy seems to have increased. Charging is quite practical. With a 100 kW charger, you can go from 10% to 80% in around 23 minutes. That makes it very usable for both daily commuting and occasional longer trips, though motorway range may drop depending on conditions. Safety and driver assistance get a boost in the EV version as well. From 2026, Ford is offering Blue Cruise, its hands-free driving system, on certain motorway stretches. That means the car can steer, brake, and control speed up to 130 km per hour in mapped highways, but the driver still needs to stay alert. Looking at the price, things vary depending on which version you pick. For the petrol or mild hybrid models, in the UK for example, base versions start from around £25,650 for the titanium trim. The street version is higher up, about £33,600, and if you add the optional handling pack it goes to £34,310. For the EV Gen E, pricing is more premium. Carwow lists the Gen E starting price around £24,601, after various incentives, in some deals, though actual on-the-road pricing may vary. In mainland Europe, the Gen E reportedly begins at about £36,900. So, what's the verdict on the 2026 Ford Puma? On the plus side, its redesign brings modern, sporty styling while preserving its compact crossover practicality. The interior tech is a real step up, especially with the big screens, ambient lighting, and clever storage solutions like the Megabox. Performance is solid across the board. The mild hybrid petrol options offer a great balance of power and efficiency, while the EV Gen E offers an impressive range for its size and fast charging thanks to the optimized battery. The Blue Cruise system is a standout for 2026, putting semi-autonomous driving into a segment where it's still rare. However, it's not without compromises. Some interior plastics feel cheap, the rear space is modest, and in EV mode the motorway range will depend heavily on driving conditions. The price, especially for the EV, is not ultra low, so buyers will need to weigh whether the range and features are worth it for their budget and lifestyle. Overall, the 2026 Puma is a very compelling package. It's not just a facelift, it's a real evolution, for those wanting a small, efficient, and tech-savvy crossover, especially one that's now available in electric form with semi-autonomous driving. This Puma is a strong contender. On the other hand, if you're after raw performance beyond what the mild hybrid offers, or you need maximum space, you might want to explore other options, but for many, this hits an ideal sweet spot. Thanks for watching this review on Next Gear. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more car reviews, and let me know in the comments which version of the Puma you'd pick, a petrol hybrid, performance street, or the new Gen E F. Also, drop a suggestion for what car you want to see next. Until next time, drive safe and stay tuned. Next Gear out.